Robo Hobo.
So I was working on this Antlion model, giving it new textures and correcting some of the animation problems that came with importing the model, as well as kind of making some new ones of my own. And an old movie that I wanted to rewatch for a long time popped up on Netflix. And I took the opportunity to watch it, and I realized these Antlions were inspired by Starship Troopers. And I thought, this is exactly what these nerdy Valve developers were watching at the time when they were coming up with this Antlion concept.
You got a bug problem there?
Ah, still it, Trooper!
And I can't say for sure that, this is the direct inspiration, but I think that it's got to be. They're so similar in so many ways. The sound effects, the textures, the animations, the stick legs. It's right on the money. And rather than feeling a bit upset that it's less original, I actually really like that. I've always really enjoyed the Starship Trooper insects, and they're just a perfect bug monster. And even in the film, with their green blood gushing out all over the place, they were great fun to watch as they died. So the other thing that I started doing with the Antlions is making them fly. This is a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure in Half-Life they were just kind of based on a curve from one point to another, and they just moved along that curve to get to their end point. But I've made them physically flying, so they're using Unity's physics engine to launch themselves into the air, and that means it's harder to control their landing. And that also led to some interesting behavior when I made a couple of mistakes with the physics. It's kind of a complicated thing to explain, but they're basically way too powerful in their flying. There's way too much force applied, so they're just buzzing all over the place. I thought it would be interesting just to keep it for a bit, see what happens. The other thing I was experimenting with was how many Antlions I could have in the scene. Obviously I can have quite a few of them before the frame rates drop at this point, but does it become annoying or stupid or just plain ruin the experience? I figured it would be a fun thing to try out, considering the number of bugs that were present in the Starship Troopers film. It was a lot, and I'm sure that given that Half-Life was probably inspired by that film, they would also want to have a lot. Again, I don't know if that's going to ruin the experience. I might have to make something like they swarm at certain times when you have resources to defend yourself, or a location that is more defensible rather than just continuous. I think that could be fun. The other inspiration for increasing the numbers of Antlions was the quote during the gameplay of Half-Life 2, where they say that you'll never make it, the spawning season for the Antlions. So I imagine they're just out in the millions. The other thing I added was the Combine soldiers. I was initially just going to focus on making the vehicle work, because I knew that I could do that really well in Unity. But then I thought, it's not really the same experience without some enemies. I was just going to limit it to Antlions, but then you got to have something that fights you from a distance as well. Something with a projectile long range reach to damage you, and to give you a bit more of a challenge while driving. Otherwise you could just run over the Antlions easily, get through the whole level without stopping. Then I also decided to add the Combine APC. Now in Half-Life 2, the APC never moves, not in the coast levels anyway. So I thought it'd be a really fun experience if the APC actually chases you down the coast. Anyway, those are my ramblings for now. I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing and the progress so far. Obviously, this is a IP that I don't have any rights to, so I don't know how far I can carry this further. I am still really enjoying exploring the whole Half-Life 2 thing. It's still very interesting to me, and I'm still very much interested and passionate about that golden age of game development. There's still a lot of subjects to discuss, and so I want to get onto those very soon. And there's still a lot of things I want to add to this to make it maybe downloadable for people to enjoy and make it an actual game. There's a lot of assets I still need to build, but you know, leave me some suggestions. What you want me to work on next? What do you want me to explore next? I was thinking I would do a whole bunch of art assets, make some 3D models, and maybe do a bit of concept art for some new things. Maybe a new type of Combine soldier. I mean, when I played through Half-Life 2, I noticed that there were not that many variations of Combine soldiers coming out to fight me. I mean, you got Antlions, you got zombies, you got head crabs, you got loads of different things happening. But I don't know, I don't want to change the gameplay of Half-Life 2 too much and make it something like Halo. But it might be cool to kind of mix it up a little bit. Maybe have a weak Combine and maybe have a super elite Combine kind of fighting together all at once, so you can identify hard targets and soft targets and take them out as you choose. Anyway, that's all from me. Stay cool. I'll see you around. Ciao.